What's the soup, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the deadliest animal in the world. An animal so deadly that it kills about 1 million people per year. Mosquitoes. How much I hate them, and if we're stuck with them for the rest of our human existence. But before I get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like these types of videos. I think we can all agree that there is absolutely no worse feeling than being about to fall asleep when you hear that annoying bzzz in your ear. The worst has come to be. A mosquito has infiltrated your chamber of solitude, your sleeping quarters, your hay-hitting room. And now you've been given the super fun side quest of finding said mosquito and annihilating it from existence. You wake up, you turn on all the lights, and nothing. This rat bastard's nowhere to be found. You turn over lamps, look under tables, behind the bed, but again, nothing. Zilch. Squat. There's no mosquito in sight. So then, just being tired and a little delusional, you go into hopeless thinking and decide that you maybe imagined it like a Skyrim NPC.
I'm going to find whoever did this.
Or that said mosquito was polite and excused itself out of the room. But as soon as you turn off the lights, lull yourself back to sleep, bzzz, there it is again, you're up. And at this point, you are your worst version. You are full tweaker mode, you're wired. You jump out of bed and you're officially looking for this mosquito like Jesse Pinkman trying to find his pipe. This is the point where you start trying out what you found on Google, which is normally to turn on one light and just stare at it indefinitely, hoping that it lands anywhere near this one light in the room. You can swap it right then and there. But normally what happens is nothing. You're just sitting there for another 20 minutes staring at a light bulb with not so much as a movement or a sound. And this is the absolute worst feeling in the world because you're just seeing the time pass on and you just know you're gonna get less and less sleep as time goes on and you don't kill the mosquito. So you have option A, you just throw caution into the wind, fall asleep, and let this mosquito bite you into oblivion. Or option B, you hunt it before it hunts you. Realistically, I can't do option A, so you just really have one option. Not to pat my own back, I'm not gonna lie, I'm normally the Michael Jordan of killing mosquitoes in my room.
It became personal with me.
But every now and then, there'll be that one mosquito that seems like it trained its whole fucking life to ruin my one night of sleep. And it's normally before a big day that I have ahead of me. And by now, it's happened so many times that I have a system. A system that I'm sad to say doesn't work very often and normally just leads to another sleepless night. What I do is I turn off all the lights, tuck myself in under the covers, I want it to be up to my neck almost, and then just turn on the bedside lamp and just stare at the wall until I see something move or I hear a buzz in my ear. I'm sure a lot of you have tried this at some point because it's the first thing that Google suggests when you Google how to kill this mosquito in my room that won't let me sleep. But I swear these motherfuckers read the exact same article because they never seem to land anywhere near this light. And I'd consider myself a somewhat patient man, but normally it'll be like about 30 minutes before I just get frustrated and just turn on all the lights in the room and just start moving every sheet, pillow, curtain, lamp, and plant to see if I can just draw it out. And impressively, that's what usually gets the best turnout. I'll usually be able to flush it out. But here's the trick. Here's the tricky part that no one tells you. You have to keep your eye on it because if not, it seems to just vanish into thin air, even if you're staring straight at it. So here's the trick. Here's what I found out. You have to keep your camera flash on it at all times because that way the mosquito leaves a shadow and the shadow is normally pretty big. So cool little trick for you. But word of warning, if you try this method and lose them, you're cooked. There's no way you're finding this guy ever again. And here's something that I'm not very proud to admit. And I don't know about you guys, but if I can't fall asleep and can't find the mosquito, the worst side of the human condition comes out. And I go down the dark evil hole that is mosquito torture pages on TikTok, Reddit, and Instagram. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Have you guys seen these pages before? There are whole pages dedicated to people finally trapping the mosquito that's been terrorizing them and giving them a slow, gnarly death. And while I would normally never indulge in such barbarity, these sleepless nights and mosquito mind games just bring it out of me. I'm sorry. I literally just stew and watch these sociopaths have their way with these mosquitoes in the hopes that the mosquito in my room will see these videos and buzz off. Get it? Buzz off?
Brother, this guy stinks!
Anyway, if that doesn't work, I do what I usually do when I'm afraid of something and don't understand it. And that's research! Yeah! Yeah, that's about the time I start researching if there are any brave scientists doing anything to get rid of these nuisances. And let me tell you, there's some good news and there's some bad news. Let's start with the good news. Here are some cold, hard facts. There are 3,500 species of mosquitoes in the world. And out of those 3,500 species of mosquitoes, only 6% of them bite humans. Most other mosquitoes bite other animals, plants, or they just don't interact with humans in their habitat. And out of that 6% of mosquitoes that bite humans, only the females are the ones who bite. And they do this in order to obtain blood, which they need to produce eggs. And here's the kicker. You want to know what makes mosquito bites itchy? Mosquito saliva, which contain a numbing agent that eventually reacts with our skin and makes it itchy. Unfortunately, that same saliva is what normally carries a lot of disease. So with that, scientists have started experimenting with gene drives, basically playing with the most dangerous species of mosquitoes and artificially altering their DNA to introduce a new gene that would make them sterile or produce a male-only population of mosquitoes. And this is all happening with control groups of mosquitoes that are kept inside these research labs, but have not been approved to be introduced to the wild. And this is a huge dilemma because it's not known what the repercussions would be when introducing these altered mosquitoes into the wild. Would they only kill the deadly, dangerous mosquitoes that are known to carry malaria? Or would this gene also be passed on to non-dangerous mosquitoes and kill off that population as well? And I think it's worth mentioning that mosquitoes are unfortunately one of the most important animals in any ecosystem across the world. This is an eat or be eaten world. And almost every food chain starts with them. Also, they pollinate a bunch of different plants, so they're helping our much beloved bumblebees. So, getting rid of them altogether is a non-option, because ultimately, it would just come back to bite us in the ass. Get it? Bite us in the ass? Because mosquitoes bite us in the ass.
This guy stinks!
Anywho, that's the good news. Overall, there's a big conversation going on about this, but the bad news is we're probably not going to get rid of all the mosquitoes that bite humans. And research has been inconclusive on how getting rid of these mosquitoes would affect ecosystems at large. We're probably not going to get rid of them anytime in the near future. So realistically, and to answer the premise question of this whole video, we're stuck with them. My advice is get a mosquito screen, which is what I'm going to do so I can open my windows in the summertime and let some breeze in and still catch some sleep at night. Realistically, I really just open my windows after I cook to let the smoke and the smell out. So knowing I'm going to have my peace of mind back is exciting. I wanted to talk about this because I absolutely hate mosquitoes. And I just wanted to have a quick rant about them. I don't know why I attract mosquitoes like a magnet. It's like bees to honey. Ever since I've been a kid, I remember I would go on vacation with my family and not my parents, not my siblings, no one would get bit except me. And everyone would laugh because it'd be funny and it'd be ironic that the most delicate little boy was getting bit by mosquitoes on the constant. I remember being at the beach with my dad and just getting in an elevator and I was just head to toe covered with mosquito bites. And I think he had one and his advice was just so simplistic at the time. It was like, oh yeah, no, just ignore them and they'll go away. And yeah, that's easy when you have one mosquito bite, not when you have 372 of them and your skin's itchy and you're 7. That and the sun. I just have never been able to tan, so I've just given up on it completely. The funny thing is that I love the beach, but I always have such trouble going or having fun at the beach because I burn easy and there's mosquitoes almost always at the beach. Somebody save me. And mosquitoes just look gross in general. Like they just look annoying. I feel like any annoyance in the world is like they are the mosquitoes of. For example, if you're driving down the street and then a Tesla cuts you off, you're like, oh yeah, Tesla drivers are the mosquitoes of the highway. But to be fair, I don't think mosquitoes are the animal I would hate to see the most in my apartment. I think the number one spot would be cockroaches. Cockroaches gross me the fuck out. Cockroaches are so gross. I think I'll move out of an apartment before having a cockroach infestation. I remember when I lived out in downtown LA, I saw a cockroach crawl over my pillowcase and I literally went to sleep over at a friend's house just because I was so grossed out. I had an exterminator come and just look at it and take care of the problem, but it seriously ruined my life. So again, I think the list would be cockroaches, then mosquitoes, then spiders. Honestly, I don't have that much of a problem with spiders. I rarely get bit by spiders. I know you swallow 6 spiders accidentally per year or something like that. I don't have a fear of them. To be fair, spiders are the most polite in the bug world. And I don't know if you can even consider them bugs, but they learn your schedule and they hide when you're awake. And then they only go out and kill the bugs that you don't want in your house while you're asleep, which I think is a pretty good exchange of services. That's their way of paying rent. But I think that this is a good lesson for all of us, that we might hate something, but by doing some research and finding out about it, we might at least learn to understand it. So in these scary times, let's try to understand that we fear. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video, and be sure to turn on notifications so that you don't miss any videos in the future. And again, thanks for everyone who's watching. Welcome to all the new subscribers. And if you've been here for a while, it's genuinely a pleasure to have you here. We're growing a little bit each day, so thank you to everyone. I'll catch you on the next video, and until then, peace.